Reverse engineer the life you want. That's a comment I made on one of my Facebook posts recently, and a friend asked me what I meant by reverse engineering. Well, what I understand reverse engineering is, and the idea of reverse engineering the life that you want, is understand what it is that you want to achieve, where you want to be, what you want to have, identify where you are now, and come up with a plan to get from here to there using kind of backwards planning. Now, I don't know how that's different between engineering the life you want to say that you reverse engineer the life that you want. Maybe it's just a buzzword that I picked up in a book or in a meeting somewhere, but it stuck with me. And so I think of this idea as reverse engineering the life that I want as establishing what it is very clearly that I want and coming up with a plan to get from here to there using major milestones, working backwards. That's how I do it. I got this idea from a couple of different places, and I'll share them with you. One is from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. His second habit is begin with the end in mind, and that should make sense. Anyway, the other place is one of my favorite books of all time, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. He says that in order to achieve success in any way, begin first with a definiteness of purpose. Step 1, understand and define your definiteness of purpose, which is not just what you want to achieve, but why you want to achieve it. And step 2, which he combines these first and second steps together, is you have to have a burning desire to achieve it. So this whole book summed up in a couple of sentences is you have to have a definiteness of purpose and a burning desire to achieve it. If you have those two things, then you can figure everything else out. Also, Simon Sinek's Start With Why. He says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This is vitally important to me because I want to encourage and inspire others to live a life of purpose and to chase their dreams and to encourage other people on their journey. And that ties in with all of this. But there is a great tool that I use called the This Is My Era Planner, which I'll do a post about in a little bit. But before I get into that one, I'm going to show you old school Army Road to War. In the Army, we would take a whiteboard or a PowerPoint presentation, put a diagonal line, and hey, here's where we want to get by a certain date and what we want to achieve, and here's where we are today. And I'm going to use a simple example of one of my goals is to run a sub 25-minute 5K at the next Impact to Hero 5K in May. And that's a little far out for a lot of my goals, so I have some shorter term goals, but the idea here is the same. When I started this, I could not I could not run 1 mile without stopping to walk when I did this a while back because of so many injuries that I have between my back and my knees. And in order to achieve this goal, there are a lot of milestones along the way. And so I identified some of them. So before I can get a sub 25-minute 5K, I need a sub 28-minute 5K. In order to do that, I figured I should probably be able to run 2 miles in less than 16 minutes. And in order to get 2 miles in less than 16 minutes, I have to be able to do at least 1 mile in less than 8 minutes. And these are just the idea of reverse engineering. So what do I need in order to achieve a sub 8-minute mile? Well, a sub 9-minute mile, a sub 10-minute mile, a sub 11-minute mile, because I couldn't even do a mile in 12 minutes back when I started. And so that is the idea of reverse engineering. Using This Is My Era Planner, I can break down these goals, these SMART goals, in all of these steps. So I define what it is that I want to achieve and by when, what area of my life, when I'm starting, when my goal to achieve it is. And then these are all those steps, all those little milestones along the way that you saw on my road to war. These are the exact same things. And then here is why I want to achieve it. That is the power of this tool. And then you carry these things over into your monthly and weekly plans and then your daily tasks. Amazing tool. I'm going to talk a lot more about it later. But what have you reverse engineered in your life? What goals have you set that you come up with a plan and all the little things along the way that needed to happen that you eventually achieved? I want to hear your success stories. And if you have more questions about how to reverse engineer the life that you want, or just figuring out your purpose. I have another great book here, Simon Sinek's follow-up to Start With Why, which is Find Your Why. I'd love to help you find your why. If you're a veteran, I would love to connect with you. I have extra This Is My Era notebooks that I give away to the veterans who participate in our I Choose Growth mentorship development program. We will reverse engineer some big, hairy, audacious goals for you that you can put them in there. You can track them. I'll recommend books along the way because these have been amazing tools. In another video, I'll explain some of the other secrets, like surrounding yourself with the right people, finding people who've already achieved the goals that you want to achieve so you can get good advice and guidance. But this morning, when I made the post that started this whole thing, I did not want to get out of bed and go run. I was hurting, I didn't sleep well, and I used Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. And I told myself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And I got my butt up, I laced on my running shoes, and I went for a run when I wasn't feeling like it, but I had great self-talk. I was breathing in the good energy, breathing out the bad energy. I was saying things like, I am lean, I am strong, I am healthy, and I feel good the whole time that I was running. And I went from feeling like crap to really feeling good. And I posted my best 1 mile time since I've started this, and I achieved a goal ahead of schedule to run a sub 9-minute 1 mile. That's what I did this morning, and Mel Robbins helped me with that 5-second rule. I've got a lot of books here. As you can see, I have them. This is part of the Post-Traumatic Growth Library, and veterans can come and check these books out. I have a rule. I don't make a prescription before diagnosis because that would be malpractice. So I don't just want to make a recommendation for a book for you until we've spoken and I know what your goals are, what you want to achieve. And if you're anything like me, there's going to be a lot of nuggets that you can pull from these books to help you achieve those goals. Love to hear from you. Love to have you join me on my journey of growth. And I hope to hear from you soon. Take care.